Hey guys, welcome to LoveCast, the Boys Love podcast, where we talk about everything related to boys love. I'm your host, Pixie, and with me are my co-hosts, Alexa and Kayla.
Hello.
Hi.
It's only us today.
Yeah.
This hasn't happened for a while.
It's always so weird.
Yeah.
We're like, what do we do?
Yeah. So we're going to do a little bit of tea time before we start, but there are a lot of news that's happened recently. And if you're not following our YouTube, you probably haven't been catching up on our YouTube shorts. We've been publishing whenever we get news of a story. So if anyone wants to keep up with tea time, the best thing is to just go and subscribe to the channel. So you'll get every single short. Like there's been news about Saint, Addicted, the BL from Chinese BL. Yeah. And what else?
We talked about the Gaia Sa
Película. Yeah. Season 2 and harassment case. And yeah. So everything is on YouTube. So you can, all the videos are under 1 minute. So it's very easy to watch. So
yeah,
head over there.
It's nice because we don't know always when we'll get to do tea time.
Mm-hmm.
Since we don't do them when we have guests and stuff like that. So it kind of helps us get information out to you guys in between episodes like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we know not everyone is on Twitter and not everyone is on a Discord server and get this information. So it's nice to be able to get it out, even though we can't do tea time when we have guests. All right. Should we go on to the main thing we're discussing? We are so not prepared for this. Just so everyone knows we are doing this on the fly.
We were supposed to record something else today, and that got thrown out the window last minute.
Can we mention what we were supposed to like? That's a little bit of tea, right?
It can be tea, yeah.
Yeah, we announced on Twitter that we
announced it on Twitter at one point.
Yeah,
so it's out there technically.
Yes,
I feel like we have to say something.
We were supposed to talk to the lead cast and director of Why Love Why. And like a couple of hours before we were supposed to record with them, I saw on Twitter that, they're having a live tonight at the same time we're recording.
Yeah.
That's how we found out.
Yeah, and we were doing that because we were doing a favor for a friend.
Yeah, they had reached out to us and asked us if we wanted to sit down and talk with them, and we said yes because they've helped us out in the past, and we wanted to have like some more like Filipino drama representation on the podcast as well, but like said person who was helping us organize didn't give us any information about the schedule changing or having to change the time or anything like that.
Nothing. So the time came and there were no one there.
Yeah. So
yeah, we're a little bit salty.
It's a little bit. So now we had to put together an episode with just the three of us, which is a lot harder than you would think it would be when you don't have anything planned.
Yeah. Usually we have to
have time to take notes and like rewatch episodes and like do that kind of stuff. But
yeah, we like quality in our episodes and not just ramblings. Although sometimes it's
we do like tangents.
Well, it's fine. We're gonna do the best we can with what we have, and we're gonna revisit some of our first BLs and talk a little bit about how we would imagine if they came out today, if they would still hold up in today's society and community, and
and if you as a BL viewer today were looking back at this drama, is it something that would still have brought you into BL or would still pique your interest today, like that kind of thing?
So we can start a little bit about explaining when we got into BL. Like I know me and Alexa already have in earlier episodes, but we can just do a quick summary.
There's probably people who have not seen that episode too, so that works.
So I found BL through K-pop Twitter, when everyone was going crazy about Tharntype. So Tharntype was my first live action BL. Like obviously I used to read and watch a lot of like yaoi when I was younger. Right. So technically that's my beginning, but like for the live action part and getting into the community again, it was Tharntype.
For me, it was 2016. And at the time I had like recently started watching like Korean dramas and branching out into like other Asian dramas as well. And I happened across a post on my Tumblr. It was like a set of screen caps from the short special Gray Rainbow. And I was like really intrigued by like the cinematography and the quotes that were being included in it. And so I went and watched that. And then right after that, I found Sodas. And like that was kind of what officially put me down the rabbit hole.
Yeah. In the past, I remember I would watch things that I guess are considered BL now. Sort of like I remember when Coffee Prince came out. I watched that long ago. I'm trying to think of what other ones are like the very like classic BL movies. I had seen a lot of them. Just because like at the time I also was like watching like yaoi and stuff like that, yaoi series, but I didn't get into like BL as a fandom until like kind of the same thing with you. I was on Tumblr one day and saw someone retweet GIFs of Love by Chance and I was like, what is this? I need to know what this is. And then so I found out what it was and I watched it. And I think that's when I first realized that there was like a whole fandom for BL. But at that time, it was just like Thai BL mostly. But that's how I got it.
I remember when I like first started watching BL and it's so like weird being in fandom now. Cause like I was on like K-pop Twitter mainly. And I used to like constantly post. It was like Soda's and Together With Me. I used to post about it all the time. Like, you guys need to watch these series. Like, you don't understand. Like, the chemistry is so wild. And now it's like, I kind of talked about this in the Fujicon panel, but like, I'll just see like someone I've randomly followed for years will like start tweeting about BL or like turn into a BL stan account. And I'm like, it's so weird compared to the days when it was still like so niche and like everything was fan subbed and like the fandom was like just starting to grow. It's like so weird to think back that that's how like my interactions on like BL fandom Twitter and stuff used to be.
No, oh my gosh. I remember I would tweet about Love by Chance like every day, but literally the only people who followed me were like my friends in real life and like my classmates are there probably like, what are you talking about right now? That was a really long time ago. And now I'm like, wow, if I tweet about a show, people will actually have a response to it because they've seen it and watched it. It's crazy thinking about how much it's grown.
Yeah, I think like before I had like a small community that I was happy with, like on K-pop Twitter. I had some people like, I still like meet up with some BTS fans. Like I travel to Germany to see them every year.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. So, and I met them on Twitter. So like Twitter can be an okay place.
Yeah.
But, no, I get it. I met like all of my shiny friends through a fan fiction website. So like, it's like the internet. I feel like a lot of us growing up were told to not speak to strangers and be like really cautious online. But now it's just like, I'm always thinking like, oh, like even us, I'm like, we need to meet up when the pandemic is like over and all this stuff. So yeah, I mean, the internet has helped fandom grow a lot.
Yeah. I just felt when I entered got into the BL community, I just found the place for myself. I was kind of like, I always felt a little bit on the outside in everything else, but like in the BL community, suddenly I'm just like, okay, I belong here.
I feel that because I remember like whenever I started getting really into BL, that's when I like noticed all these things that I was like, is no one else like noticing these things like that are wrong with it? And so that's whenever I found out that actually there are people who are noticing that things are wrong with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it kind of was like, oh, I'm not the only one who is noticing this.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think like I got like how do I explain that? When I watched Star Type, I didn't notice like anything wrong.
Mm.
No, I get you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But like I wasn't thinking about it that way because I was just like watching for entertainment. It's like I'm a grown-ass woman. I know the difference between like rape and romance. And I wasn't thinking about what I was watching. And I got into the fandom on Twitter first, and I got this like explosion in my face of people who were just so mad at how wrong it was. And like it sounded like it's the worst show to ever get out of like BL. And I'm just like, have you read Yaoi? Excuse me. Why are you so angry? But I had a period where I was affected by that and started thinking like that too, even though I really didn't think. I kind of got caught up in like the hatred going around.
Yeah, like a herd mentality kind of thing.
And it took me a little while into the fandom to realize, okay, I don't really need to agree with these people. I can have my own opinion on this without having like people attacking me for it. Like you just need to find people to actually discuss with. And that's why I like the Discord server so much when I joined that, because I got to be around a group of people who didn't agree with me on everything, but we were respectful to each other. I still remember the first time I discussed with Alexa because I was really afraid to ask, and this has nothing to do with BL, okay? But I was so confused about why blackface was wrong. And that's a really scary question to ask someone because I don't understand it. I'm not black. And I just like, from a white person's perspective, it's like, it's just a costume. Why is it wrong? Like if they're not doing it in a mocking manner, like, right? But Alexa, she explained it to me calmly and I got it, right? Without any hatred and without like making me feel like there's something wrong with me for not understanding, right? So that's what the whole community on our BL Discord like gave to me. You don't have to be judged for your opinions or your beliefs, and you can change.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know if it's right to say kind of have like an opposite experience. I feel like I was a lot more critical, and like I'm still critical of BL in like a very different way now, but like when I first started watching it, I was coming from mainly watching like Western queer media and like Korean dramas, and like the content and like the production of those series is like very different. So I remember the first time I started like really watching BL, I was kind of like surprised by a lot of the stuff that was allowed to make it into like the series, because like a lot of that stuff is not something that I would have seen in like Western media. And like that's kind of like the same thing. I'm coming from like a Western standpoint, and I kind of was still using that lens to watch this like Thai media or Taiwanese media or Japanese media. And I think kind of in the same way, like coming into the Discord in early 2020, it was a different Discord server, but with like a lot of the same people, and like kind of just like having people from a whole bunch of different places and having those like different viewpoints and people who had different criterias of what they expected, and not people who weren't viewing everything from like the Western lens, because most of the people I'd interacted with in fandom prior to that had a very Western view of the media we were interacting with. And I think after that, that was when I was able to kind of really like step into the fandom more. I think I'm still like very like critical of things because of my like ideology and views and stuff like that, just like personally. But I also like am not going to be the person who is like angry about everything on social media and trying to like fight people. And like I like the idea of like discussing these things with people, and like I do agree with you that like that's something that's really good that came out of like the Discord server and kind of like delving more into the BL fandom.
Yeah, because ignorance isn't like stupidity. Like if you're ignorant, it's just because you haven't heard about it yet. So it doesn't help attacking someone for their ignorance.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, when you attack someone, I think we have talked about this before, but their reaction is just going to be to get defensive, and then it's going to turn into something that's like so far from what it started as.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
discussions are always good. You should always discuss, even if you're not going to end up agreeing.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I feel like I have a little bit of a unique perspective when it comes to watching BL, because I know what like the media in the Philippines is like, and a lot of the things that I like saw like briefly like growing up or whatever, it's like a lot of it is cultural, but that doesn't like make it something that should be like widely accepted.
Right.
So like, for example, they're really about skin whitening.
And
just
that.
You know, the putting people down if they have darker skin. And stuff like that. I've always found like really, there's a lot of historical background to it, but because I know what the media is like there, and honestly, the media in the Philippines is very similar to Thailand, like very, very similar. So I feel like I went in already like seeing a lot of things that I saw in Filipino media that I was like, this I don't think is right and shouldn't be accepted. But also it's like, you have to pick your battles. You really have to pick your battles, because some things aren't that deep, but then other things, it's like,
it's worth saying something about.
I don't know how else to describe it, but
it's like the whole situation with Mame and the extras not getting, or she reusing the footage from Tharn Type 2 in Don't Say No without the legal consent of the extras in that scene. And then the fans go and drag Mew and Golf into it when it's not even about them. They're going, you know, Mew has very, very strong fandom of people who support him. So anything that's going to be, I guess, affecting him negatively, or they view it as something affecting him negatively, they're going to jump at. You can either go at Mame for something she did that was illegal, or you can go after her for not apologizing to Mew. Seriously? You need to recheck your priorities there. Like, pick the right battles. I mean, that's something, I'm sorry, but that's something like a 14-year-old would do.
No, it really is. Like, I was going through screenshotting all the tweets. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with them. But so many people, their biggest complaint was that she didn't apologize to Mew or Golf. And their biggest complaint wasn't that she illegally used footage and ripped off a bunch of extras.
So mind blown.
Okay, battles, literally.
So back to the topic. Your first BLs, do you think, like, would you be excited about it if they were launching today?
I'm going to be really honest here, and this is a controversial statement. I don't care about SOTUS anymore. Like, even watching the second season that came out, I guess it was in 2017, I was like, this is boring.
Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate Singto as an actor so much, and I think he's so talented, and I like a lot of the other stuff that he's been in. But like going back and like rewatching scenes from that show, I'm just like, why? I'm surprised that is what got me into BL, because like I find it very slow and very boring now. I do think it has its place as kind of like one of the OGs, because it is one of the very first Thai dramas that kind of got a big following in terms of BL on like the international fandom side. But like, I don't think I would ever have any interest in it today if it was like something that was coming out. And I also like am not a fan of Chris at all. So like I avoid heavily things. I'm being very like controversial with my statements right now, but like I avoid pretty much, I mean, I know he only does like het like Lacorns now, Lacorns. I'm not quite sure how you say it, but like I avoid like any type of media he's in. So like Sodas would not be my cup of tea if it was coming out today.
Yeah, I feel like Singto has really like embraced the BL genre while Chris just no.
And Singto has done a lot of like very dynamic roles. Like I like that a lot of the characters he's playing, well, like a lot of them have been gay. Like they've all been different stories. Like he did Friend Zone, he's doing the Painter one that's coming up. He did He's Coming to Me, which is one of my favorite like BLs with so like I feel like he's had like very like
and he's
dynamic
playing a gay
roles
character in Baker's Boys too,
right? So like he hasn't just stuck with like, and maybe if all that was coming out was uni dramas, that's all he would be in, but I feel like he's had like a very good like palette of things all over the place that have kind of kept me very interested in his acting over the years.
I feel like he definitely only gets involved in things that he's passionate about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like it's not just about money for him.
Can't say the same for Chris. I'm gonna I watched some of like the clips from the dramas he's in, because like I follow GMMTV, so like sometimes he has like a drama that's airing right now, and like the clips will come up on Twitter, and like I'll just like watch them play on like silent. I won't even have the audio on, and I'm just like, this is something, that's for sure.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry to anyone that likes Chris. I'm very sorry.
I feel the same about Nui. So
yeah, that's another one.
Yeah, but no, for me, like Thorn Type, it has like a special place in my heart because I still think it's a good story if you ignore the problems in it. If you just watch it for entertainment's sake, and if you're an adult about it, recognizing that that's problematic and that's not real life, then it's fine. But I do think like, and it's one of the newer ones too. It's not that old. I don't know if I watched it for the first time when I was already in the BL community, like at the place I'm right now with opinions I have right now and like involvement I've gotten since I joined. I don't think I would have liked it as well.
Yeah.
My perspective changed a lot through the years.
Yeah. For me, I actually have watched Love by Chance kind of recently, not super recently, but it holds a lot of nostalgia.
Yeah.
And a lot of like my comfort shows, they're comforting because they're very nostalgic and like remind me of a certain moment in time that I watched them.
Yeah.
Whenever I was watching it, I definitely took everything with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
And didn't think that deeply about it. Like I never was into really any of the side storylines in Love by Chance. Like I was always in it for Perth and Saint.
Same.
And like I still think that they had really good chemistry, and I still think like the overall story of Love by Chance is just like pretty simple and like cute and like production value and everything I thought was really good. But I don't know if I could ever call it like my favorite series anymore, because the things that I don't like in it, I have grown to like really, really not like. So it's like I almost can't watch it anymore and like completely enjoy it, because I'm in the back of my head, I'm thinking like, oh, I really don't like this scene. I'm just gonna like skip over it.
Yeah.
So yeah, there are some things about it that I'm like, it like almost ruins it for me. And then season 2, we're not even gonna talk about
season 2.
Season 2 ruined season 1 completely.
We're not gonna talk about that. But I feel like especially after season 2, I was like, even though I could see like the good in it, I was like, this series just does not hold the same place in my heart that it used to.
Yeah.
At one point in time.
It's not like my first BL, but it's probably like the one that I talk about the most. I recently played back with my younger sibling, and we were rewatching Together With Me, the first season, not the second season, because like I don't acknowledge that existence. But like, as much as like Max Tool's chemistry was still like as great as I remember it, the actual plot of Together With Me outside of them, horrible. I was like, what am I watching? It like helped me see how much I was blinded by like Max and Tool and like their chemistry as actors, because like everything else that happened, like I realized that there was like no plot at all in the drama for like half of the series. And then like they had the classic like evil girlfriend trope, which I hate so much now, but like I hated Plum playing so much when I was first watching that series. And like now I look back and I'm like, why did they have to make her so evil? And like there are still really good things about it. Like Yihua is still one of like my favorite female characters in BL that I've seen. And like obviously I'm still like a Max Tool, like they're my favorite people. But like the series itself, I'm like, if it wasn't for Max Tool, like, and I think this can be said of a lot of the stuff that they've done, like their chemistry just kind of like overpowered everything that was not great about that series. And then like rewatching it, I was like, wow, there's a lot of like not great stuff in this series.
Yeah.
If you think about back to Make It Right, and if that came out today,
yeah,
I know for my end, it would be the most uncomfortable shit ever.
I couldn't even finish that one. I couldn't.
I actually did finish it, and I think I finished season 2 as well. But it's so uncomfortable seeing these really, really young boys.
Yeah, that's the same with like Lovesick. Like, I don't know if I could watch, and like I just said this recently, like watching high school dramas in general doesn't really appeal to me anymore, but especially when the actors are actually like, you know, that they're like very young at the time of filming the drama, and like some of the situations that they were put into and like some of the scenes that are in there, I'm like, I don't, me now as like a almost 27-year-old, I could not watch a lot of that stuff.
Yeah,
it's very uncomfortable.
Yeah, and in Make It Right, I think, was it season 2? Like they hint at Plan's character having a relationship with his friend's mom.
What? What?
Yes, that happens. And it's so freaking uncomfortable. And the mom is in Love by Chance, his actual mother in Love by Chance.
Oh.
Yes, those two were
That's
connected
so weird.
romantically in Make It Right.
What were they doing?
What? It's super awkward.
That just gave me more flashbacks to Top Tap's character in Waterboy and
God.
The swimming coach.
Waterboy doesn't exist. Imagine Waterboy coming out now.
Oh my God, never.
I was just gonna say, like, I think Waterboy came out when there still weren't a lot of BLs, so I literally forced myself to watch it because I was like, this is one of the OGs. But this is kind of off topic, but there was this one time that I am like so convinced that the dad character from Waterboy is like a really well-written character. And it's like a fringe opinion that I have that I won't let go of. But this one time I created like an entire debate and like thesis, just like joking around to like my sister. And I was like, this is why the dad from Waterboy is a good character. And like I compared it to Jacob from Twilight.
Oh my
because
God.
I was like, I hate Jacob from Twilight, so I'm gonna compare why he's a bad character and the dad from Waterboy is good.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, what was I even doing? Like that was a consequence of not a lot of BLs being out.
We had very little to work with at that time.
Yeah. I mean, Waterboy is like the BL where even the lesbians end up with men.
Oh my God, don't talk to me about that. I literally...
I remember watching it and I'm just like, yes, finally a lesbian.
A lesbian.
And everyone in the server were just like, oh, keep watching.
No.
Oh my God. I forgot about how I only made it through 3 episodes and there's still so much that made my blood boil in the 3 episodes that I did see.
There are literally 2 lesbians in that show who get boyfriends.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how I feel about that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. This has kind of just turned into us talking about older BLs in general. But like, I think it's fine.
Yeah.
What was wrong with them?
Do you think like there's any recent BLs that were bad considering the the time we're in.
Ooh.
I'm trying to think of ones that
I have one. I have one very specific one that I think does not fit in this day and age. If it came out like 10 years ago, I would have understood it. But today, no. History 4.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The tropes and everything happening in that show is so outdated and doesn't reflect like how society looks at things right now. And it's so lazily written that people think it's good because they think it's deep, because they don't understand how it can be this lazily written. They need to make sense of something that doesn't make sense. So apparently there's layers, but there's not. It's bad writing.
Yeah. That series happened.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's another series like that. I mean, I felt like Oxygen used a lot of tropes that are kind of outdated, but nothing like extremely offensive or whatever, like History 4.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it, but I feel like from what I have seen about it, Tanhan Chanlati. I know that people thought particularly Pod's character was like very archaic in a lot of like the stereotypical like tropes that they were using for him, kind of like that I can't have feelings for this guy, so I'm gonna resort to being homophobic type thing, and just like his character in general was very like archaic masculine type male lead.
I kind of got the like feeling of like the dumb bimbo trope,
but not well done. Because like sometimes himbos can be good, but sometimes they can be bad.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think I watched the last episode. I watched everyone except the last one. I just fell off.
Yeah. I've gotten very much to a point lately where like I can't force myself. And I said this before, like it's probably not great as a podcast host because like we should be like watching things so we can have like a lot of opinions on them. But it's so hard for me to force myself to watch some of these shows that I just like don't think are well done. Like I struggled so much to get through History 4 because we were going to do an episode on it, and I was like, this is the most painful thing I have done in so long. Like I just struggle. So like I feel like my standards are very different now, and I think that's partially just from like growing up in general and like consuming so many different, like it's the same with like even like K-dramas and like the Western shows that I still keep up with. Like I just have very different standards for what I like to watch now. So like a lot of things that I probably would have like forced myself to watch in like 2016 and 2017 because we didn't have a lot of BL content out. I'm just like, there's so much that's out there now that I can find something else that I would actually at least enjoy somewhat watching, as opposed to like forcing myself to watch something because it's coming from GMM TV or it has an actor that I might really like, but like I still just can't force myself to watch that kind of stuff anymore.
Yeah. And if ever like if you guys listening wants us to do an episode on History 4 and just hear us
we did plan on it, and then the
deep
stuff
dive
got really busy.
I know people really liked our deep dive into Lovely Writer. So I really want to do one for History 4. So if people want to hear it, just let us know and we will. I have a lot to say. Oh my god.
You know what? I don't know if this is, I mean, I guess they're older now, but not really that old. But I feel like that moment in time was really iconic where like Until We Meet Again, Fahrenheit, Dark Blue Kiss, The Effect, and like there's like another one. All of them were airing at the same time.
Yeah, that was a wild time.
And I feel like a lot of them all had good stuff to offer. So sometimes I think back on that and I'm like, did we lose that? Because it's like the same thing, like where I haven't been interested in a lot of shows that are coming out.
Yeah.
And
I feel like I'm
what
so
happened?
overwhelmed now by like there's so much coming out constantly, but like I feel like not all of it is of like quality. I feel like and like that can be said about a lot of different media, but like I think because BL is so like popular now, and it's like continuing to get popularity, it's starting to enter that more of like quantity over quality type phase. Not to say that every BL we used to get was quality, because like we just spent the whole episode talking about how they weren't, but like I just feel like I'm like there's so much, but like very few things actually stand out to me as like I'm actually genuinely interested in this story that they have to offer.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think it's about like the reason why I can't get excited about some of the BLs right now is because I feel like whenever I watch them, I've seen it before. Like it's just like the same old tropes, just through a different lens, right? Different actors there, and sometimes it's the same actors too.
Yes.
I just can't get into it, because the series that I've really liked are all the ones that are different.
Yeah,
like you have Manner of Death, Lovely Writer,
Tale of Thousand Stars.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like they're all different, like the best of them. So I'm just excited to get some stuff that isn't like the same as everything else.
I think we are kind of like slowly moving past the university engineering phase, or at least like expanding beyond it a little bit, because like there's still a lot coming out, but like we do have things like Golden Blood and Kim Porsche, if that's still happening, or whatever's going on there, like stuff that's like a lot of like Salmon's dramas are like, another one of her dramas has recently got announced that it was being adopted into a series, and like she is always bringing like new stuff to the table. Like
I think it's a ghost story, like it's about a ghost.
So like same with like Grab a Bite, which is something a little bit outside of the university realm. So you know, I think there are slowly starting to move past some of like the same old tropes, at least in terms of like plot and general synopsis, but like still going to take time to get past it, and hopefully those shows will be successful so people can see there's a market beyond what is they already know is popular.
I think people are trying to be safe, right? They want to earn money, so they're going the safe route, but right now that's not what it's gonna earn you money. Like being innovative and taking stories that we haven't seen 1,000 times is gonna bring so much more attention. You just look at when the trailer for Kim Porsche came out, like people were going crazy because we didn't get anything like this before that. So,
exactly.
It's not the time to be safe.
We've all been inside for the past year and a half watching nothing but university BLs. We need something new now.
And I will say that a lot of tropes that like I like, you can rethink them in a whole new light.
They can be reworked and not just used in the same way.
Like I mean, you can have university age students, but just not have it revolve around school.
Right.
I don't know.
I'm kind of tired of seeing the whole moon thing, and
me too.
the initiation thing when they're doing the
hazing.
I'm over it. I saw enough in Sodas. It's fine.
I'll be kind of shocked if another series that has like a heavy hazing theme comes out, because I know that like that's an issue in Thailand that they're trying to like get rid of is hazing.
Or like they started to portray it in a negative light a lot more if they do use it.
They tried to make it seem like a positive thing, like in Sodas, like community and whatnot, and it's just like, no, you're bullying people. They're freaking fainting. Like what?
Hazing is and that's like a big issue here, like in the US too, at like the universities and stuff.
I
know like in the dramas that I've recently seen it, and like the one I can most recently recall was the second season of Friend Zone. They did like have hazing scenes, but they definitely portrayed like it in a much more negative light, where like the character was like standing up to them and being like, you guys, basically he was like, you guys are just bullying us because we're freshmen and you're seniors and you think you can get away with it. So like I feel like now if we do see it, it's more like in that kind of tone.
Do we have anything more to say about today's topic? We've been on some really long tangents.
Topic full of random topics. I think I covered everything I have to say.
No.
Should we end it on like a positive note? What show are you watching right now that you like?
Ooh.
I've been pleasantly surprised by Golden Blood. I am not gonna lie, when I first watched the trailer for it, I thought it looked pretty low quality. But the actual show itself is a lot better so far in terms of production quality, and also I'm really liking the characters so far, especially like Sun, who is Boat's character. I'm really enjoying him and kind of seeing how that story is unfolding. And I've also been watching the Filipino BL Stuck on You. It is another quarantine BL, but like it's been pretty good so far. It's only 30 minutes, so it's kind of been my light Friday night watch, and I've been enjoying that a lot too.
For me, I've been really enjoying Light on Me, the new Korean.
I haven't started it yet.
Yeah, it's really cute and funny and weird, but it's really cute.
All I know is the picture of a guy holding a dildo that I saw from the first episode.
Yeah, just so everyone knows, like that isn't like a random dildo they confiscate. I can't say the word, but it's for sex ed. You can see the pamphlets he's holding in his hands that it's actually for sex ed at the school.
That makes more sense in context.
But it is a really strange scene because he's like holding it to his
photo,
butt.
like floating around Twitter,
and they're arguing about it because the guy who got the dildo in his butt is saying that it didn't hurt, but the guy who did it is just like, I got it like far in there, it has to have hurt. So they become like enemies after that. It's so funny.
No, it was hilarious. Enemies to lover.
Yeah. No, the pacing of it is really great. So I've been really enjoying it. And the Young Royals, the Swedish one.
Oh, right. Yes, you have.
Yeah, it was really angsty and good. It was like, and it was kind of nice. I could watch it without subtitles.
Oh, yeah, that's always a bonus.
They actually had English dubs on it.
I don't watch things with dubs.
Yeah.
I always watch things with subtitles.
And there is one girl in the series that actually talk in English.
Oh, cool.
So she knows Swedish, but she says she's talking English because she doesn't want to embarrass herself with her Swedish. It's really normal for like Americans and stuff who come to Norway as well, that they can understand me talking Norwegian to them, but they are answering in English. Yeah, because they feel embarrassed about it.
Yeah, it's on my list to start. I said I would start it this weekend, so we'll see if that still happens.
It doesn't have like a definite ending.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Netflix show, so I'm expecting multiple seasons.
There
so
will probably be more seasons. Yeah, but I had a lot of feelings watching that. It was really good. I binged it, like all 6 episodes.
Nice.
Ooh, there's only 6. I feel like I can watch that fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of took a break from BL, but I was going to start watching Stuck on You because the one actor who was in Cheat, the series that I really liked, is in it.
Yeah, so he's been really good.
And then I don't know if this counts, but the Game Boys movie is this month.
Of course.
I saw you got your ticket.
Yeah. I've been watching stuff that, like, I mean, there are like queer characters in it. Like I watched Move to Heaven and I loved it so much.
Talk to me about that drama. So I cried so much watching that drama. I have no words for it.
Yeah, I cried so much too. There's the one episode with the gay character who's like the violinist.
My heart.
Then, what else did I watch? Yeah, I've kind of been taking a break because of the whole thing of like just storylines not sticking out a lot to me.
Yeah, it's been really hard for me to find like stuff that I'm interested in. Like the fact that there's like 10 plus BLs airing right now, and I only have 2 that I'm even remotely interested in. Like,
Right.
I'll probably get around to watching most of them because I usually do, but I feel like I have so much else to do too that I can't just focus on watching BLs all day. But I have my vacation started today, so maybe I'll have the time.
Your vacation where you're still going into the office.
Yeah. That's how it is.
Oh, I'm gonna watch that Korean historical one, the
Nobleman. Yeah.
Ryu's wedding. I'm gonna watch it and I'll get back to you about that.
I think I watched like 3 episodes and gave it up. So
yeah, I like historical things, but if it's like boring, then I don't know. If it's really tropey, I don't know.
For me, it's not that it's so tropey either. It just nothing happens. It was really slow pacing. It's like nothing happens. And it was kind of weird seeing all these actors you've seen in other BLs,
all the different BLs
gather in one. Like, I just like the guy from Where Your Eislinger.
Yeah, isn't he like the second lead or something?
Yes,
there's like a love triangle.
And he's like
Sorry for the spoilers,
different. Completely different personality, and he's like really intense, not like in stoic intense, but more in like the happy-go-lucky intense. And it's really throwing me off.
Off-putting,
That reminds me of how GMM TV will reuse the same actors.
And everything.
It does mess me up a little bit when
move.
I mean, it's okay if it's just like sometimes, but even if it was just one actor getting like, or 2 actors getting a new show together or something, like appearing or whatever, it's okay. But when you have like 3-4 different actors from 4 different shows showing up in the same show,
coming into comparison at one,
it's my mind just, I can't take it.
You're like, which BL am I watching right now?
All right, that's it for today.
Yes. We pulled one together, guys.
So everyone who's listening, we are putting out more stuff on our Patreon. So you should go over there and check it out if you want to hear our proper reviews. We'll be posting them exclusively on Patreon. And when this episode comes out, we'll already have done our Q&A live on YouTube and
our big face reveal.
Yes.
Although Kayla's face is like already like out there. But for me and Pixie.
Yeah. So from here on out, like from the next recording we do, we will be showing our faces. So for the YouTube fans that like, it's easy, I can understand it's easier to kind of follow along when you have something to watch.
You can watch.
And if we have guests on, we will try and have their faces on too.
Yeah, as long as they're okay with it, which I would hope they would be. But we'll see how it goes. It's good. It's kind of going to be a change for us because we've been doing like audio only for the past 6 months, but I think it'll be good. It's a good change. And
we're looking to get a little more help with stuff that needs to get done behind the scenes, so we can like make more content and just evolve more and make the Patreon a little more exclusive. So stay tuned, and thank you so much to our current Patreons for helping out.
Thank you guys, we appreciate you.
Thank you.
Okay, so
bye.